हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। ओम ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाखया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपदान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो
हे
जगत्पते
कृष्ण।
गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी श्री राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिनिते नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे। गुरवे गौरचन्द्राय राधिकाय तदालये कृष्णाय कृष्णभक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः। हरे कृष्ण। जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद, जय द्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंद। ऑल ग्लोरीज टू श्री चैतन्य महाप्रभु, श्री नित्यानंद प्रभु, श्री अद्वैताचार्य, श्री गदाधर पंडित एंड श्रीवास, the five personalities who broke open the storehouse of Krishna prema. क्षीराददातं निजगुप्तवित्तं स्वप्रेम नामामृतमत्य उदार आपामरयो विददार गौर कृष्णो जनेभ्यस्तमहं प्रपद्ये। The Chaitanya Charitamrita explains, क्षीराददातं निजगुप्तवित्तं, hmm, क्षीराददातं, which means for a very long time. Nije Gupta Vitan, there was something that the Lord had with himself, which was very dear to him. Nije Gupta. Gupta means confidential. Nije Gupta. There was something that's confidential to him. Vittam, wealth. What was the wealth that was very confidential to him, which was not given for a very long time? Swaprema Namamrita Matya Udara. Love unto himself, Swaprema and Nama. Chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Atya Udara. Now the Lord is becoming Udara. Hmm? परम उदार प्रभा अपार अति सुकुमार श्री कृष्ण। जय कृष्ण कृष्ण, जय कृष्ण जय श्री कृष्ण। हम्म? परम उदारा कृष्ण और चैतन्य महाप्रभु परम उदार, बहुत उदार है भगवान। विच मीन्स वेरी काइंड हार्टेड, मतलब रेडी टू गिव, वेरी जेनरस। परम उदार प्रभा अपार Ati Sukumara Shri Krishna. It's a very beautiful song. You would have heard it. If not, we can go online. It is there. Jai Radhe, Jai Radhe, Radhe. Jai Radhe, Jai Shri Radhe. Rasika Rasilo, Chaila Chapilo, Gunagara Pilo, Shri Krishna. Jai Krishna, Jai Krishna, Krishna. Jai Krishna, Jai Shri Krishna. Very beautifully. First Radharani will be glorified, then Krishna will be glorified. And in the end, you should see it's the last line of that whole song will be very, very, very interesting. The author is practically lost for words because he has glorified the Lord and now he's kind of lost for words. So he writes Hare 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 Shri Hare. The last line will be like that. So it's almost like they have glorified Radharani and Krishna. अब पता नहीं चल रहा क्या लिखे, तो ठीक है, भगवान का नाम ही लिख दिए। सो Swaprema Namamritamate Udara. The Lord is giving these two things, Nam and Swaprema, love unto himself. Apamaram yo vidadara gaura. And this Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has come down for Apamara, those who are Pamara, those who are very low, those who are very fallen. We are fallen, and he is. We are Patit, and he is Patita Pavan. So we are fallen, and he is savior of the fallen. So all that we have to do is we have to accept we are fallen. That's it. Because he is coming to rescue the fallen. And now, if we stand still and say, hey, I am not fallen, I am pure devotee. Then Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will say, well, I am coming to rescue the fallen. If you are not fallen, take, I'll go somewhere else. So in Kali Yuga, one should be humble enough to accept that they are fallen. We are not advanced. We are not so Mahabhagat Vaishnava. We are fallen. So simplicity, Srila Prabhupada actually in Bhagavad Gita, he defines simplicity also. Like we are saying here, we have to simply accept, be simple enough to accept that we are fallen. So in Gita, Prabhupada in the 12th chapter or maybe 13th chapter, Srila Prabhupada defines simplicity as one who's so humble, so straightforward that he is ready to um, reveal the secrets even to an enemy. Prabhupada defines simplicity. मतलब इतना सरल कि यदि मानो शत्रु भी सामने हो तो उसको भी व्यक्ति कुछ बोल देता है. Not holding back anything. So in the section where qualities of a Brahmana etc. are described in the Gita, there Srila Prabhupada writes. I'm just paraphrasing, but something on these lines. Prabhupada writes, simplicity means who without duplicity is so straightforward and something like that. That he reveals his heart even to an enemy. I'm just paraphrasing, but you can see online. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Krishna Janebhyastam Aham Namami. To that Krishna who's coming down as Gaura to rescue the fallen souls, hmm, and to give them Swaprema and Nama, love unto himself and Nama. To that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who has not given this wealth for in a very long time. Nijagupta Vittam, Chiradadatam. ऐसे श्री चैतन्य महाप्रभु के चरण कमलों में दंडवत करते हैं. Thank you for coming down to this world. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai. So that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu yesterday is having a discussion with Srila Haridas Thakur. And in the discussion, we find Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is asking the question to Haridas Thakur that those who are यावनास, those who are meat eaters, उनका उद्धार कैसे होगा. और उसके संदर्भ में हमारे श्रील हरिदास ठाकुर ये बताते हैं कि प्रभु जो भगवान का नाम जपते हैं उनका उद्धार भगवान नाम से होगा. They will get uplifted through naam. And the example is given, and he says he uses the example of how they say Haram, Haram. Hmm? Says that is Namabhas. They're chanting the holy name. They're not calling out to Krishna, but it's Namabhas. And the example there again is given to illustrate the previous point is of Ajamil. Ajamil also called out to his son Narayan. It was not Nam Aparad. It was not Shuddha Nam either. It was Nam Abhas. He was not calling out to Narayan. He was just calling out to his son. But because there was no Aparad, um, and because he was calling out with so much eagerness and so much desperation, as if his life dependent on his son Narayan, the Lord takes the essence. दंष्ट्री दंष्ट्र हता म्लेच्छ हारामेति पुनः पुनः उक्त्वापि मुक्तिम आपनोति किम पुनः श्रद्धया गृणन्. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, this another story is explained that one time one Muslim man was in the forest, and when he was there in the forest, there was a wild boar that started chasing him. Damstri damstra hata mlecha. And when the wild boar started chasing him, this Muslim man didn't know what to do. So naturally, he looked at the boar and said, Haram, Haram. So for him, it basically means abominable. Haram. Haram iti puna puna. But how does Chaitanya Charitamrita take it, or how does Mahaprabhu take it? Haram, Haram iti puna puna. He was chanting Haram again and again. Uktvapi, by chanting Muktim apnoti, by by chanting Haram, Haram, inadvertently he got uplifted. Mukti mil gaya. Kim punaha shraddhaya agranan. Then what to speak of that person who chants the name of Prabhu Sri Ram with Shraddha? If without Shraddha, this is what you get, what will you get by chanting the name of Ram with Shraddha? So basically, the essence is the aim and objective of describing these stories in the Shastra is so that we take the name of the Supreme Lord with faith. We do not leave faith, but we have faith in the Lord and the Lord's timing and the Lord's planning. Mhm. Yesterday, I read a very nice quote, and it was by His Grace Gauranga Prabhu. And he had said, many things that happen in our life are such, we want something and Krishna doesn't give it. Mhm. Like maybe you want something, you can just do your imagination, whatever you want, and probably that's you have not got it, or you want it for a long time, you're not getting it, whatever. So that quote was very nice. Garanga Prabhu had written that it is not a rejection, it is Krishna's way of redirection. It is not that you're getting rejected. Krishna is redirecting you. Krishna doesn't want you to go there because probably he knows if you go there, there'll be more problems. It is not rejection. Next time you want something, you're not getting it. Let's not be sad or disheartened. I know we will be sad. That's how the human psyche is. That's how naturally we are. Dukh hota hai and we become emotional, etc. But it was a very nice thing where it said it's not a rejection, it's Krishna's way of redirection. Krishna, the GPS is redirecting you. Hmm. Like if you want to go to a destination, hmm, like if you want to go to a destination and we find in that thing you've put an address. Suppose from um, wherever you are in Mumbai and you want to go to the Juhu temple, Radharas Bihari. Hmm. So the GPS will take you one direction. Now, if you miss a turning or if you miss one road, then what will it do? The GPS will not say, hey, हार गए जिंदगी में. You're a failure. इतना भी नहीं कर पाया. GPS doesn't say that. What does it do? It redirects you. It again redirects you and gets you back to the same route. So even if you miss exits and turns and detours, etc., it just redirects you in some other way by which you'll come back to where your destination is. So similarly in life, it is how it is that um, we all would have experienced it. That many times Krishna closes some doors, but even if he closes nine doors, at some point he will open some door. It's uh, it's a matter of time, but it will happen at some point. So it is not a rejection to all the youth who are here, because the reason I am saying I'm stressing on this is I know in the youth phase there are so many things that goes on. One with academics, assignments, with peer pressure, with maybe bullying in school, then the desire to get good grades in 10th and then go to a good college in 11th and 12th, and then get a good degree, and then maybe IIT or whatever exams you have, NEET, um, then CET for 12th. I don't know whether these exams are still there. I had CET in Maharashtra, hmm, Common Entrance Test, MHCET, um, for Master's Gate. There's so many exams that are there. UPSC, for those who are into government civil services. And these are exams that naturally are not easier to clear. People study, study, study. Chartered accountant, CA. It's like a joke in India that most times people don't clear CA in their first attempt. But if you have cleared CA in your first attempt, my goodness, you are like a very, very scholarly person. Invariably, दो तीन चार attempt लगता है. So the reason I'm stressing on this is it's not just education. You will see that in some other phases of life also. So it's not a rejection. It's just Krishna's way of redirecting us. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu here, um, we see that he's talking to Haridas Thakur, and how just this word of Haram or Haram is being used as Haram, and the benefit is being given of Nam Abhas. So let's continue. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became happy and asked, on this earth there are many moving and non-moving beings. How will the trees, plants, insects, and others be liberated from material bondage? Valid question. There are insects, there are plants, there are bushes, shrubs, कितना कुछ है. यदि नाम जप तो केवल मनुष्य कर सकते हैं, पेड़ पौधे कहाँ से हम नाम जप करेंगे? So Mahaprabhu is asking. Haridas Thakur replied, when you do loud Nam Sankirtan, the moving entities who hear it are delivered. When the non-moving beings like trees hear it, there is an echo, which is their kirtan. Thus, when your followers do loud sankirtan all over the world, all moving and non-moving entities dance in ecstasy. Balabhadra Bhattacharya related to me all your pastimes in the Jharkhanda forest. When Vasudev Datta appealed at your lotus feet for the deliverance of all living beings, you accepted his request. You specifically you specifically took the form of a devotee to deliver all the fallen souls. So basically, how will all the plants and trees and insects, how will they get delivered? By loud Nam Sankirtan. This is why Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu emphasizes on Nam Sankirtan as the Yuga Dharma. Actually, during the start of ISKCON, we find all the devotees would go out for Nam Sankirtan for hours and hours together every single day. Mm. For no less than 13 to 14 hours, they'll be out on the streets. Mm. Some will be singing, some will be distributing books. That and when ISKCON started, that was the definition of ISKCON, Nam Sankirtan, the Hare Krishnas. They would be out on the streets every single day. Just like someone has a 9 to 5 job. You're there at 9 o'clock, you leave at 5 o'clock, etc. So similarly, the devotees took this as a 9 to 5 job. Not 9 to 5, but this was like a nine to nine job. All day they would be out on the streets doing Nam Sankirtan. Whomever you take, whether it is no Sripad Ayendra Prabhu would do it for maybe 16 hours a day. Even Srila Indradumna Swami Maharaj, if you read his book, there also we find he writes that he was out on the streets for about good 14 hours every day. Vishnujan Maharaj was again out for 14 to 16 hours every day. All of these disciples of Prabhupada were out on the streets for 14 to 15 hours or 14 to 16 hours every single day doing Nam Sankirtan. Mm. So, of course, now as ISKCON, the last 50 years, this thing has changed because during those days we had more of brahmacharis and less of grahasthas, and more of people living inside the temple and less living outside. Now the dynamics have changed. We have more living outside the temple and less living inside the temple. Especially in India, we still have a lot of brahmacharis. In the West, we do not find brahmacharis as such. Um, they are like a species who's kind of become extinct in America. You don't find a lot of brahmacharis, especially saffron brahmacharis. We don't find like here also in Seattle. There's no saffron brahmachari. In some other temples also I can think of, there are no saffron brahmacharis. So the dynamics have changed. Earlier days there would be more inside the temple and less outside as a residence. And now we have more living outside the temple as grahasthas and less living inside the temple. But the point is, during those days, the disciples of Prabhupada were going out on the streets for many, many hours every single day, which has kind of reduced in the present day. But here, that is the point that's being explained that if we can go out on the streets and perform Nam Sankirtan, then even the insects and the plants over there, unka bhi uddhar ho jayega. Lord Chaitanya asked, if all living beings are liberated, the entire universe will be devoid of anyone. Haridas replied, as long as you are in this world, you will send to the spiritual sky all the developed living beings. Then again, you will awaken the living entities who are not yet developed and engage them in activities, and thus the universe will be filled as it was before. Lord Ram took all the Ayodhya Vasis with him when he left this world. Then he filled Ayodhya again with other living beings. Krishna also delivered all living beings in the universe when he descended. By descending in Navadvip, you have already delivered all the living entities in this universe. Hearing this, Lord Chaitanya wondered, these are my confidential pastimes. How could Haridas understand them? He then embraced Srila Haridas Thakur. The Lord awards liberation even to those who see him, glorify him, or remember him with an attitude of envy. Hmm. However, we see the Lord, we see it is explained here. that the Lord is ready to award liberation. Kamat snehat bhayat krodad yata bhakti shware manaha. In the seventh canto of the Bhagavatam, this point is brought that kamat in um, pure love, madhurya, gopis saw Krishna. Snehat in parental affection, Mother Yashoda saw Krishna. Hmm? Kamat snehat bhayat fear. Kamsa Maharaj. Kamsa Maharaj was also always in fear of Krishna. Krishna will kill, Krishna will kill, Krishna will kill, Krishna is here, Krishna is there. All the day he was doing Krishna, 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 Krishna. Hmm? And Krodhat, anger. Shishupal. Shishupal was very envious and very angry with Krishna. And he was also all day doing this Krishna, 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 Krishna. So all four personalities, whether it's the gopis, whether it's Mother Yashoda, whether it's Kamsa, or whether it's Shishupal, all remembered Krishna and chanted Krishna's name in different um, mood. All of them got liberated. But the gopis and Mother Yashoda are special because they not just got liberated, they got prema bhakti. They were already liberated because that's why they became Krishna's parents. But they got prema bhakti because they didn't see Krishna as someone who's an enemy. They saw Krishna as someone whom they loved as a family member. But Kamsa and Shishupal were different. They wanted to cause harm to Krishna, they wanted to kill Krishna. But however, we think of Krishna, even if it's in this example of Bhaya or Dvesha or anger, the remembrance of Krishna causes purification. Hmm. How are these people getting liberated? It's not just being envious. So if someone is just envious of Krishna, hame Krishna nahi pasand, something like that, that will not give liberation. If that attitude is there and it is coupled with constant thinking of Krishna, mujhe Krishna nahi pasand, Krishna ye, Krishna wo, Krishna this, Krishna that. It is the remembrance of Krishna that causes purification, gives liberation. It's not just being envious. It's not just being angry. With that anger, if you're constantly thinking of Krishna, then that remembrance of Krishna will cause purification, and then the person will get liberated. Just being angry will not work. Just being envious will not work. Mother Yashoda loved Krishna in parental love. But it's not just that she was a parent. She was constantly thinking about Krishna. Krishna is here. Krishna will eat. Krishna has gone to the forest. Krishna is doing that. Krishna is this. Damodar Bandhan, this, that. Constantly thinking about Krishna. And likewise the gopis. The gopis, Bilva Mangala Thakur explains the gopis would wait when Krishna would go to the forest. And in the evening time, the gopis would wait that when will Krishna come back. So they would stand on the rooftop, the terrace, just to have a glimpse of Krishna when Krishna is coming back. And as the gopis would stand there, when Krishna would come with these thousands of cows, and all these cows would be running and jumping and oh, they're making all these different sounds. All the Braj Raj would be out in the air. Whole of Braj Mandal will be filled with Braj Raj. And these gopis would be like Chatak Parvat, they would be looking, where is Krishna? And then as the Braj Raj would settle, the moon like Shamasundar would emerge from that Braj that was there in the air. So all day the gopis would be waiting for Krishna. When will Krishna return? And in this mood, they would be chanting Govinda Damodhar Madhaveti. 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 All day they would be calling out, where is Krishna? Where is Krishna? Where is Krishna? So now, is this enviousness? No. Is this anger? No. This is desperation just to be with Krishna. We don't care whether Krishna is God. If tomorrow you tell us Krishna is not God, doesn't matter. We, Krishna, we still like you. Hmm. So this is the love of the gopis and Mother Yashoda. Hmm. Bilvamangala Thakur is is very interesting personality. As we are quoting him, I'm just remembering we are talking about holy name here, and Haridas Thakur is glorifying holy name so much. So in the Govinda Damodara Madhaveti that Bilvamangala Thakur writes, the all the verses that we see are not connected to each other. They're not interlinked. They are different pastimes that Bilvamangala Thakur has a realization, and he just connects them with the theme of Govinda Damodara Madhaveti. The last line ends with Govinda Damodara Madhaveti, but every stanza is one pastime which is not connected to the previous stanza. They're all kind of mixed here and there. Mukunda Mala Stotra is also like that. There's no connection if you say. It's not based on one theme. So in this holy name theme, Bilvamangala Thakur starts his Govinda Damodara Madhaveti Stotram. He says, Agre Kurunam Atha Pandavanam Dushasanena Dhritavastra Keshat Krishna Tadakroshananyanath Govinda Damodhar Madhaveti. Hmm. What does Bilvamangala Thakur say? Agre Kurunam Atha Pandavanam. In the assembly where the Kurus and Pandavas were present, where Dhritarashtra Maharaj was present, where Bhishma Dev was there, Dronacharya was there, Duryodhan was there, Dushasan was there. The Pandavas were present. The gambling match had just ended. Hmm. And the Pandavas had lost everything. And finally, Draupadi was manhandled and she was shamelessly being dragged in that court by Dushasan. Imagine how painful it would have been. The problems that probably we have is very small in comparison to what Draupadi faced. You have husbands who are as powerful as Arjuna and Duryodhana, as Arjuna and Bhima and Nakul and Sahadev and all these personalities were very powerful. Yudhishthir Maharaj, but still they're not been able to do anything. There is Bhishma Dev, who is Maharati, who's so powerful. There is Guru Dronacharya, who's again so powerful. Hmm. Like in India, we have this place near Delhi. We have a place called as Gurugram or Gurugaon, how they say. It was Gurugaon, now they call it Gurugram. So that Guru stands for Guru Dronacharya, because Guru Dronacharya had his teaching academy in the present day Gurugram near Delhi. So even now we see in Gurugram there is a station. It's called as Guru Dronacharya railway station, because Dronacharya lived in the present day Gurugram, and that's where the Pandavas and Kauravas they came when they were young to learn archery and different skills from them. Hmm. So in that assembly, Agre Kuruna Matha Pandavanam Dushasanena Rita Vastra Keshat. Dushasan was so demoniac that he dragged Draupadi there, hmm, not just dragging her, but dragging her with the hair. With the hair like an animal, he was dragging her in the court in front of everyone. She was not even, she was not the person who played the match. She was not even there in that assembly. But all of this, she was being humiliated and treated this way. And when she was brought in this way with the hair, and Dushasan, when he tried to disrobe her, Dushasan was doing it and doing it and doing it. Somehow it was just not happening. Why? Krishna Tada Krosha Ananya Natha. Draupadi initially called out to everyone. She called out to all her husbands for help, called out to Bhishma Dev for help, called out to Guru Dronacharya for help. She begged and pleaded with everyone, but no one responded. No one responded. No one did anything for whatever reason. At that time, Draupadi realized that there's only one person who can protect me. I don't have anyone at this point. She put both her hands up. Said, Krishna, Govinda, Damodara, Madhaveti, Krishna, please protect me. I don't have anyone. Apart from you, I don't have anyone. The people whom I thought are going to help me are not in a position to help me. No one has the ability to help me. Bhagavan, bachalo hame. Please protect me. Krishna, Tada, Krosha, Ananya, Natha. That mighty Lord, you are my only Natha. You are my only protector. I don't have anyone. नहीं है हमारे पास और कोई. Putting both her hands. Till that time, she was holding on to her sari with one hand and calling out to everyone. But when she realized this is not going to work out because Dushashan is more powerful. It's not going to work out. She left and she put both her hands up. Govinda Damodhar Madhaveti. Krishna, please protect me. I don't have anyone apart from you at this point. And at that time, we find that sari after sari after sari just kept coming. Krishna was not even present in the assembly. Physically, Krishna was not even present in the assembly. But sari just kept coming and coming and coming and coming and coming till the time Dushasan, who was a warrior, who was a Kshatriya, he got tired, but the supply of sari just kept coming and coming. How did it come? It came through Krishna, but it came primarily through Krishna Nam, because Krishna was not physically present there. Draupadi called out to Krishna Nam, and Krishna Nam took the form of a sari. भगवान का नाम सारी का रूप लिया. भगवान वास्तव में वहां थे ही नहीं. When the pastime occurred, Krishna was not physically present. But it is Krishna's holy name, which is of course not different from Krishna. It is Krishna's holy name that took the form of a sari and protected Draupadi. Why? Because in the past, as the Mahabharata story unfolds, at one point Krishna hurt his finger, and Krishna's finger was bleeding. So Draupadi immediately tore a piece of her pallu and tied it to Krishna's hand to stop the bleeding. And Krishna remembered this. When everyone forgot, Krishna remembered this. She gave little cloth to Krishna when Krishna was hurt. At a time when she required Krishna's help the most, Krishna supplied the cloth as much as possible to protect her. Why? Because she just did one thing. She gave little cloth to Krishna. So one small act that we do, we may even forget. The world may even forget. Krishna doesn't forget. Krishna will not forget. If for little cloth of Draupadi he was ready to give a full sari factory, what to speak of us? We all would have done little in different times and circumstances. Krishna will provide. Krishna will help. It is his duty to help. If he has helped so many devotees in the past, why will he not help us? Krishna will help us. All that we have to do is just put our hand up. When we come to this conclusion that there is no one who can help me, we realize we are helpless in this world. हमारा सहयोग करने के लिए कोई नहीं है. भगवान ही केवल बचा सकते हैं हमें. Just like Draupadi put her hand up. So for that little cloth that she gave, Krishna was ready to give full sari factory to protect her. But how did this all happen? Through Naam. भगवान नाम की अपार महिमा है. So here Haridas Thakur is glorifying Naam. There is a reason why Haridas Thakur is being glorified in Shastra so much, because he had this firm conviction in Krishna Naam. That just by chanting Krishna Naam, everything will be done. So in that way, the Lord, we discussed this. Although he wants to cover his opulence, the Lord cannot do so before his devotees. Previously, Haridas Thakur stayed at Benapol after leaving home. He made a cottage in a solitary forest and planted a tulsi plant, in front of which he would chant the holy names 300,000 times daily. Yani 192 rounds. He would beg food from a Brahmana's house. He was spiritually so influential that all the local people worshipped him. Ramchandra Khan, the zamindar of that district, was an atheist and envious of Vaishnavas. Unable to tolerate the respect being offered to Haridas, he planned to dishonor him. By no means could he find any fault in Haridas. Once he sent an attractive young prostitute to deviate Haridas. This is the famous story that we have heard. She had promised that she would attract Haridas within 3 days. Ramchandra Khan told Ramchandra Khan told her that his constable would go with her to arrest Haridas as soon as he sees them together. So Haridas Thakur is a very young man. When this pastime occurred, Haridas Thakur was very young, maybe in the mid 20s, late 20s, and he would live inside the forest and he would chant. And Ramchandra Khan was envious, sent a prostitute only to defame him. And that prostitute had a track record where not more than 3 days could anyone survive. 3 days is also a big number. No one could survive probably even 24 hours. But here she said, within 3 days, I will get him in front of you. And what happens next is a very, very famous transformation. We will keep that for tomorrow. Gaura Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Thakur Mahashaya Shila Haridas Thakur ki Jai. Shri Hare Krishna Mahamantra ki Jai. Nitaya Gaura Premanande, Hari Hari Bol.